that kind of one of my favorite ones. So we're gonna head up here, hit the road. Let's go check it out. Man, I'm in my element. I've got the bus. I'm here in Bartlesville, and let me show you what we got. So I already fixed the hood. The bolts were missing on this side. I went ahead and brought all of my body bolts and stuff that I've got. Went ahead and fixed that. I got to fix that latch and get it working. But yeah, there it is, 1972 C20 pickup. All right, so we got this rig home, and I'm pretty excited. I really like this truck, but I'm gonna give you a walk around before I start washing and cleaning on it, and we'll go from there. So this is a 1972 C20 Camper Special pickup truck. We got the regular long box 8-foot bed, but you're gonna look, yes, it needs the rockers and cab corners like usual. However, this old truck is in pretty darn good shape. Do a little walk around. We got a tailgate this time. It does work. Functions well. It's not too terribly tore up. The rear bed seal is in pretty darn good shape. It's not rusted or really destroyed. This is a factory wood bed floor truck. They've done what everybody does and put a steel plate back there. But the insides of this bed's in pretty good shape. So, shuts pretty good. The next thing is we got the heavy duty rear bumper that they've put on there, which I'm pretty sure that thing's pretty stout. I don't know what the rating is on that, but it's all there. We have the Dana 60 rear axle. I would imagine it's a full floater. But as we walk down the side of it here, the box is in really, really good shape, and it's got the 16.5s with 33 1250s on the rear. It's got that, and they did this a lot, a homemade style fuel tank. You can see where it goes through right there. So you know this puppy was using some gas. Needs rockers just like they do. They put spray foam in. I don't know why people do that. But the truck is in pretty darn good shape. Front clip is really nice. The hood opens and shuts pretty good. I mean, it's just in really good shape. And the cab is super nice on it. Just got one cab mount that's got a little rust in it. But the interior, not bad. I'm gonna get to cleaning on this thing. But yeah, I think I found a good one here. Let's get it cleaned up. If you're wondering, the bus is a pulling machine. This thing is, it's all there. So, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I like it. Guys, I finally found it, man. Who would have known? Be very, very quiet. Welcome to another wonderful, beautiful day outside, and I got this old truck cleaned up. I'd like to show you guys more of this thing and show you kind of what I'm planning. So, we got the paint kind of shined up a little bit. This thing's cleaning up pretty good. Somebody has, I bet the first 30 years of this truck's life, it's been pretty decently taken care of. But you guys haven't seen under the hood yet, and I was going to show you a few things. So as you guys know, every one of these trucks rotted the bottom of the fender well out, and most usually got the bottom of that fender because the old lead acid batteries, they would leak down and eat that out. So it kind of needs a core support, needs a passenger fender well, which is something you can plan to do on all of these. But if you look, the structure of the bottom of the hood all the way up and around is in really good shape. Now the hinges are kind of sprung. I think they're kind of tight, but I may change the hinges on it because it does come up on this side a little bit wonky, but I think that's in the adjustment. But on this truck we do have power disc brakes, which is a good thing. Still have the ram horns in place, and what's odd and I'll show you guys in a little bit. That looks to me like a universal Buick Olds Pontiac case on that transmission. So I know this is a factory turbo 350 truck. I just don't think this is the one that goes to it, or at least has started life with it. But everything I see, yeah, they did cut a little bit of that cross member. We do got some old dirt dauber's nests. I've cleaned nothing out under the hood, but some of the wiring is a little jacked up. It's stuff that could be, you know, gone through, but for the most part, the old cab and the old truck's in good shape. But I'm really impressed how it cleaned up. Now the grill, it's holding on by a prayer, but the front bumper's not bad. I mean, it's not bad at all. And I'm really impressed how good this cab is. Like, it's got a little bit of rust on the front cab mounts, but the rear ones are in pretty good shape. It's got a little rust back there too. But, I mean, for what I've been looking at on these things, this one's not that bad, and that's why it's here. And the box is looking pretty good on it. It does have a little ding right here. And until I scratch some numbers on the axle tube, I don't know what gear ratio this Dana 60's got in it. It could have a 354, a 373, 410. I would imagine it's got the lower of the three. I would imagine 410s with a 350 engine and stuff in it. But most all the bracing on the bottom of the bed looks really nice. I mean, none of this stuff looks rusted through. Now there is, up here, the body lines on the bed don't line up, and I had to do this on the other truck, is take some washers and build a spacer to take up, because that would actually help space that up. But it's just needs to be pulled back. It actually needs the bed loosened up and readjusted, which I had to do that on the other truck. So, but I'll show you guys some other things. So the interior, that's another common problem on these trucks too, is that button gets stuck. So that'll have to be addressed. But it does have a little rust in the rockers. But the bottom of this door is really nice. This door is in real good shape. The other one's got a little bit of rust, and I was real worried about that door, but I think I can fix it. But as you can see, the cab, I've only just got slightly a little rust wanting to bubble there, which can be totally saved. But even the seat's in decent shape. Like, I think this thing could use some POR 15 and some kill mat. And this is a rubber mat floor as well. But I would like to show you what I've found in the glove compartment. Show you guys, as we usually do on these pickups, in the glove compartment we have the spid sheet, we have the VIN, rear window sliding, camper mirrors paint, front shock absorber, heavy rear springs, 42 amp Delco generator. That seems so crazy because now your late model stuff is about 140 to 180 amps. AM push button radio, front chrome bumper, white and black, factory, that's a good thing. Black cloth special camper wiring, heavy duty battery, 750 by 16 by 8. So this thing didn't actually have 16.5s on it. It's interesting. 350 engine. Got 3 different codes on rear suspension, so yeah, this thing's a hoss. Floor, so it's got the wooden bed, the tinted glass, the bed molding. Pretty neat. Also, this is not, and I may have not paid attention just because I was kind of in a hurry, but I thought this was a 72. However, look, that's a 71 side marker. I overlooked that. So, this is not a 72. This is a 1971. On the owner's manual here, it says 1971, series 10 to 30 pickup. But one other cool thing is, here is what they call the Protecto plate for this truck. Now, the fact that this is still in here is pretty darn good. SM Brighton, 2000 Norman Road. It says Glenn Bernie MD. So this thing could have been And it says gliding Chevy right there. So it's got, somebody took care of this old truck. Let's look at this little thing here. And here we have a state of Arkansas registration. I'm curious though, that Glen Bernie MD, what's that? But yeah, there's a registration. And then here's another cool thing. Sydney Brighton. So I don't know who that is. But this is for a transmission. Now, go back to me saying this thing's at the dual bolt pattern case. I predict that is probably something from an 80s G body maybe. But I'm thinking that could be what transmission case is in this truck. So, and it's looking like it's been rebuilt. And it's looking like this truck got a new transmission in 1983 for the price of $722. So that's pretty cool. So at least we know it's been rebuilt 42 years ago. So that's always cool to find that kind of stuff. Fayetteville, Arkansas. That's some of the other neat things I found with this truck. It's always neat to find the history of these things. Also, there's tags from all the way from 90 to 94. All basically stickers all the way up to 2006. So it may have been a little bit since it's been on the road, but like, it's turned out to be a pretty good truck. And I've just lightly wiped the interior down. I love that steering wheel. I love that it's still got all this stuff. This thing's really caught my attention. I like it. Really cool. Next move, if you guys already know that I do not like stuff that doesn't run, and I don't like things that won't roll. So our next move is we've got to get these blown out back tires. I should have started from the other side. We got to get these back tires that are blown out, get them rolling. So let's put a set of back wheels on this thing. One thing about these 8-lug trucks is most of your older model ones, they're 8 on 6.5. So you would measure from the center here to the center there should be 6.5 inches. And a lot of these wheels, once they got to about 2000, was a 8 on 170. And so there's an 8 on 6.5 and 8 on 170, which would, I believe, change it to like a metric style. But man, that sure looks a hell of a lot more than 6.5 inches. But that's what these wheels here, they were off a matched trailer, and he put new wheels and tires on it. So I'm pretty sure these will get us rolling. So let's get to work. All right, so we got the wheel off. Let's inspect this bed and see how good it looks. All right, so we have a full floating Dana 60. And by that, you know, the outside unbolts and the axle itself is full floating. It's got a set of bearings here. A lot more heavy duty for hauling heavy weight. So as you can see where the wood used to go, a lot of these cross seals are just loose in here, which is the exact same thing I ran into on the blue and white 72. And you can see all the metal in this thing. Let's look up around the inside of the wheel well, the bed. I mean, all this is really, really nice, not rusty. And the frame looks exceptional on this truck. So somebody's taking care of it. It's just set probably the last 15 years or so. But yeah, we're gonna start oiling all of our connections there and get that stuff lubricated, because you probably know what's coming. I went ahead and got this other wheel off. Let's check it out. So we got the V8 350 badge. This is a small block truck. But yeah, it's got factory disc brakes. Nothing's froze up on it. I mean, the frame looks nice. Again, that's very, very normal for these. So I've been sitting here pondering on going back with some factory style wheels, but I'm kind of torn with the chrome. So in my collection, I have this nice set of 265/70 17 E rated. Where's that E? Yeah, load range E, which is right for this truck. These things don't have a lot of miles on them, and they were only pulled off because of the noise. But proportionally, I'm not hating it, you know. I mean, it's not gonna be a 4x4, but I don't know. Wonder if a set of slots or some methods would look pretty good on this thing. Got it sitting over here in the field. Let's see what it looks like. So there it is. 1971 custom C20 camper special pickup. Thing is in a lot better shape. So, as you guys know, this is my favorite pickup truck, and yeah, this thing has got some really good bones. So I just kind of got to see where I go from here. I need some trim pieces. Obviously, it has no drivetrain that's usable, so yeah, got to make some plans. But yeah, we'll kind of walk around this thing, and yeah, I think the first order of business is get a matching set of wheels and tires. Gonna have to get a new grill. That one's holding on by a thread, and we gotta take these eyelashes off or whatever. Like, I don't know what's up with that. That was an 80s thing. But the old truck is in pretty good shape. It doesn't look like it's ever been wrecked. Yeah, it's definitely getting there. The chrome wheels are I'm digging it, and the big fat back tires, but I just think the look on these trucks is this old steel white wheels and the tall skinnies. But comment below, let me know what you guys think. Yeah, it's got them cool looking, I don't know about what those mirrors came off of, but they're there. All the cleaning supplies are in here. Not bad. Not a bad truck. I think this thing would clean up and make a decent one. Not bad. Yeah, back in the day, not everybody had a 4x4 pickup. They'd put 33-inch tires on the back and just sent it, you know. That thing's got one hell of a rear bumper set up on it. I wonder what they actually did with it. They must have, I mean, they called them camper specials. But yeah, that thing's pretty rad. So, as always, hit that like and subscribe. Give me some ideas what you guys think I should put in it. Should I put a big block in it? Should I put my 5.3 in it with a 4L60? Should I put a small block in it? Find a junkyard small block? Should I do anything and just get rid of it and give up on this pipe dream of having a vintage old pickup? Or should I just go full send on this thing and get after it? Let me know what you guys think in there. So appreciate it, guys. Thank you.